Hello YouTube, this is BUB'S Comics coming at you with a quick comic haul. Got another big key picked up today, a Silver Age key, so we'll get to that in a minute. We're going to run through these pretty quick. I got a bunch of books to show, so let's go. I got X-Men number 35. And that one is, I'll probably give it about a 3.5 maybe. It's not in the best of shape. It's got some creases, pretty hard creases there. Couple of ticks here and there. That top little chunk didn't happen until after I bought it. As I was picking it up out of the bag, it just kind of crumbled away. So the edges were a little bit rough on it, but other than that, pretty good shape. Looks like somebody kind of traced in that Spider-Man, so a lot of stuff going on with that one, but I got a great deal on it. So happy to have that. Next we have this Sojourn, I think, number 28. I picked it up because it's a Greg Land cover. And I like Greg Land, and I think he did a good job on these ladies here. You know, I'm a sucker for a gal in a leopard skin bikini, so there you go. And then she's got the longest legs and boots I've ever seen on a woman. I mean, look at that. My God, that thing looks like a lead pipe. But anyway, other than the extreme leg, and I think that it's like a stack boot or something. Maybe her foot's really up there, but still, holy cow, that's a long calf right there. Other than that, I think it looks pretty good. So there's Sojourn number 28. Next we got a little bit of a key here. We got the Amazing Spider-Man 135. Happy to have picked this one up. Surprised to have picked that one up. Didn't expect it at all, but you know, I saw it and the price was right, and then I worked it for an even better price, and I couldn't leave it for that after all that work. So just a ridiculous price on this book. 135, and there it's got the second appearance of the Punisher, I believe. So it's got tarantula appearance, and I think in this one Norman Osborn finds out Spider-Man or Peter Parker's or Spider-Man's identity as Peter Parker. He puts it together. So there you go. Amazing Spider-Man 135. Happy to have that one. Here is Tales of the Teen Titans number 64. So this is the reprint, if you will. I think it's Teen Titans maybe number 5 if I'm not mistaken. So, but you know, good stuff. Brian Boland, pretty cool. So picked it up. I just see that cover a lot, so I saw it for 50 cents. I couldn't pass it up, so I brought it home. Another book I saw for 50 cents, Justice League of America, number 11. This is a Michael Turner cover, so I was really happy to get that. As soon as I saw it, I knew what it was, so I was very pleased to get really any kind of Michael Turner work for 50 cents. I can't pass that up. Maybe I should, but I can't. So, so there you go. It says Buried Alive. I don't even know who that is there, but looks like somebody once again in some sort of. It's got like a tooth necklace. I don't know. That looks like Hawkeye in the background, but it can't be because that's the wrong universe. So I guess maybe it's Green Arrow or Red Arrow. Who knows? There you go. Justice League of America number 11. Picked it up because it was 50-cent Michael Turner cover. This one, if anytime I see a beautiful Spider-Woman cover, I don't pass it up. So here's Avengers Fear Itself, number 17. So I like that pretty well. What I really like about this cover is how detailed everything is. Everything in the background is super detailed. They put a lot of work into Hawkeye. Looks very, very detailed all around. The background, the fire. And then with Spider-Woman, they just kind of did almost like a charcoal cover. To me, a charcoal drawing. All the lines are very clean and very neat, and not a whole lot of definition or detail between them. Most of the work is done with color, and so I really, really like the style of this, where you have the very complex style all over, and then you have a very simple style in her. I just thought it was beautiful. I almost didn't buy it. 50 cents. I kept putting it back. I kept picking it up, putting it back, and I said, forget it. For 50 cents, I'll take it. Here's Wolverine Max number 5, just filling in a run with missing number 5. Have to have it. Here is Tomb of Dracula number 17. This is one I've been hunting down because it has an appearance of Jack Russell, or otherwise known as Werewolf by Night. So I had, this is on my list to pick up every appearance of Werewolf by Night, so I didn't have this one, so now I do. And it's in pretty good condition, and it was about the price that I was looking to pay for lower conditions, so I didn't leave it behind. I picked it up. Here is Savage Dragon number 1. Don't know much about this comic except that I see, you know, I know it's Eric Larson, his baby comic, but you know, he's okay. You know? I didn't own it for 50 cents. I figure why not get a nice clean copy of Savage Dragon for 50 cents. That's got to be a bargain in somebody's book, maybe even mine. We'll pull those down. Next we have Sheena, Queen of the Jungle, number 0. Now this is not the J. Scott Campbell cover. That one is number 0, and then it'll say preview on it. So this is the non-preview one. You know, I was hoping for the preview one, but really just a cool Sheena cover anyway. So not bad there, as you can see. I don't know who the artist is on this. It's no one that I recognize, but looks pretty good. So I'll take that. And then next we've got a kind of a famous cover here. Here is Iron Man number 128, Demon in a Bottle. This book has all kinds of problems. So you got to be careful, and what you're seeing can be deceiving. Now I don't like chew in a book. So what chew is when a bug or a rodent or something chews on the book, and you can kind of see, usually chew will be very even, and like if it was chew right here, you would see all the way through almost to the backing board, or there would be levels to it, almost like a graded bluff or something by the lake. So anyway, that's not what this book is. This book has some major issues. Along the top you can see that there, it almost looks like chew, and on the bottom it looks like chew also. You can see there, but that's actually not chew, that's acid. So if you wonder, when people talk about putting them in acid-free backing boards and things of that nature, this is what acid does to a book. This book was actually in a brown bag comic mailer, which at the time, that's how they came. So they came in brown bags, they didn't put them in cellophane, they were just brown bags. And this was never taken out of the brown bag mailer, and the acid in the bag ate through the book. It'll also happen where there is a lot of glue. So they'll glue the bag shut, and where that glue is, it'll eat through the bag and then start eating through the book. So that's what that is. But I picked this up for $5, so obviously not going to complain about that. Iron Man Demon in a Bottle. I don't usually pick up books that have a lot of damage to the cover, but some reason this book, being the Demon in a Bottle cover and being so rough already and dealing with alcoholism and all that stuff, I thought having a little rough on the cover was a little bit, you know, gave it some character. Next, we're almost to the Grail here. Next, we have Target Comics, Volume 9, number 4. Nice LB Cole cover here. You know, gorilla on the cover. Can't beat that. It's a gorilla fighting a, I don't know what that is, a buzzard, I guess. It's a gorilla fighting a buzzard. Now, what's funny is that there's only 4 of these books, I believe, on the CGC census. This isn't a book that comes up that often. Right now on eBay, there's a 6.0 CGC for sale for like $600, and then there is a raw copy that is a Canadian edition. Now the Canadian edition is not the same. First, obviously, it's Canadian edition, but then also it'll have a different page number here, because they cut out some of the stories for the Canadian edition. So it's not 52 pages, it's like 36 or something like that. So that's how you can differentiate. And I think for these books, you'd probably want the American edition. So, and actually on the CGC one that's on eBay right now, you can see that the notes or whatever on the book say that it's a bondage cover. So it's got these 3 guys tied to a tree, and they're calling that bondage. Hashtag not my bondage is what is what we say. So anyway, there's Target Comics, Volume 9, number 4. Just an old great book. I think it's from 1948, if I'm not mistaken. So pretty cool, golden age. It's pre-code. I don't know that you would necessarily call it pre-code horror, but it's pre-code. Pretty cool LB Cole cover. So that's only my second LB Cole book. that I own, and the first one is a more modern book that he came out of retirement to do. So this is my only in stride LB Cole book. So cool 10-cent book there. All right, last but not least, I picked this one up for a song. I'm embarrassed to say how much I paid for it, so I won't. But here is Silver Surfer #1. So as you know, this is not the first appearance of Silver Surfer, but it is his first in an ongoing title. So it says an all-new comic book length Marvel epic. So all new book length Marvel epic. That's it. And there you go, Silver Surfer, big premiere issue. Silver Surfer #1, 25-cent cover. I've already put it in one of these hard cases that I love. Went to my LCS and picked those up and actually traded some books for it. So that worked out really good. Because after buying all these books, I didn't have much money left. So I was glad to trade off for some supplies. So there you go. Sentinel of the Spaceways. Now this book, it's in really actually pretty good shape. The square bind is still pretty solid on it. No real issues with it. And then the back is a little dirty, but it really, for its age, doesn't look too bad at all. Now the front has quite a bit of fading to it. As you can see, this is kind of orangey instead of the red that you would normally see it in if it was a real sharp condition. This oranginess here was more red, and it has a cool date stamp from 1968, so I like that, May 16th, 1968. So I like this book. This is pretty cool. No complaints about it at all. Now it does have cover spine split, goes about 2/3 of the way, so it's like from here down corner all the way up to about there, and it quits or so. So it's still attached. You know, these square bounds, kind of like the giant size X-Men, they're famous for that, pulling away. So thankfully this is all still attached. So not sure what kind of grade that would get with all the different things going on. I know that CGC doesn't count off too much for faded covers. They don't seem to mind that at all or care. And the pages look pretty white inside too. So anyway, excited to have this book. Really happy. You can tell if it's in one of these cases, it's going up on the wall. So this is going to be on the comic wall in just a minute. Very, very happy to have this book. So there you go. That's my quick little haul, and thank you all for joining me in BUB'S Comics. And we'll catch you next time. Read a comic. Bye.